My idea of reaching out to people is to have some kind of collaborations going on long after we meet first. So when you approach somebody for the first time, what do? You introduce yourself and get to know the other person for the first time. And that is off the camera, of the video. I don't want to do so. Whoever I approach, just one or two lines of exchange, and then I invite them to a Zoom call. Because what I do, I don't want to rationalize things, no, offline. I want to make everything right on the call itself. So that is the idea. And the other person is going to ask me, what is the intention of reaching out to me? Why me? I don't know. It is just that it happened. So that is what, when Shreya joins me, I'm going to tell that. So you think this to be crazy? Yes. And I want to have those people before. I don't know whether they will succeed or not, whether they're persistent enough or not. But how does it matter? The other person is important for me because those people those people are with uniqueness. What do you think so? So when I think about people and whom I have, I'm trying to establish some kind of connection. Very strange connections also start to come. I'm reaching out to people, uh, because I want to have a global mission where each of us will contribute to something. That is the best way, according to my understanding, to create global calming, cooling, and greening. For the global peace, we need to have peace with whoever we meet. Agree with that? I know this is a very crazy kind of idea that I have, but still, this is the idea I have, and I want to pursue this so that going forward, people will get to be crazy, at least with me. They don't have to rationalize before they start talking. And I want to create that environment. While I'm speaking, I got this message that people need some crazy space to be themselves. So I would invite Shreya to do that. And yes, that is the idea for having a stranger into my call. The other idea is that I want to create a dream 100 of people who are not successful right now, but they have the potential to be successful after some years. And whatever is going there in their life, that is a success story because they are happy with themselves and whatever they are doing. Don't you think? So those will be my in sync 100 people with whom maybe I'll have something in common. Say 3 years from now. So that is what. And yes, I was thinking that this will help in many ways. Hi, Shreya. Hi.
Sorry
Yeah,
to join in a bit late.
no issue, no issue.
First of all, a happy Akshay Tritiya to you. May you have a prosperous and abundantly blessed year ahead. May we all, rather.
Same to you, same to you. Thank you so much for the wishes. Yes.
Yeah. Tell me, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So if you allow me, why this call and all, why I have approached you. So let me explain the craziness of the idea that I have. Maybe you will understand because I didn't know,
Yes.
I didn't remember that you have a group called Elite Women of India, and you sometimes back might have invited me to that group. That is how we got connected with each other.
Correct, correct.
But when I chose you to speak to, I didn't have that in mind. Because I have started one group. You must have heard about Russell Brunson's Dream 100. Have you heard
Not
about it?
really, Sangeeta. You'll have to kind of enlighten me on that.
Okay, okay. So he is a person who is this funnel game. No, he is doing whatever we do. That is a funnel. We have our customers into a very small, very wide kind of audience, but very small percentage of them come into our circle.
Right.
So don't you think that is a very huge idea that he has? So what he does is he tells 1,000 things, but people will connect with just one or two, and those people will come. So this is the funnel he designs. So that is the idea. And in that, he has created a multi-million-dollar enterprise. So everybody now in the digital space follows that principle. That's that funnel kind of principle. And he has collaborated with successful other people who are in mind space, other space also. So hundreds of them are there in his direct collaboration. And what he does with those people is they mutually promote each other's business, right? So I was wondering whether they started doing that after each one of them got very famous, very successful, or they started long back. I am yet to explore that kind of history. But if I have to start, say, 100 people, 100, it is called 100, but there might be more or might be less. But the idea is to synchronize with 100 people. Can we do that? So that idea came to my mind, and I call them as in sync 100, wherein women especially who are in this digital space reaching out to each other. You might have that kind of feeling when you invited me to that group. But you didn't remember. Maybe I also do similar kind of thing. And suddenly someday we get connected. So that is a crazy idea. I don't want anything to be rationalized out there when we speak with each other. We speak just because we feel like speaking. So
Correct.
we don't have that kind of space. Lot of things gets explained first, and then the things get going. So I don't have anything like that. I don't know you personally, so you have to tell me, and then we can go ahead with this friendship. No, whether there is any interest or not, how does that matter? And why it all happened at this time is I was part of some group, and there I was posting something regularly, and there are thousands of ladies out there, and one particular lady from US, she started liking my post very regularly. So we didn't know each other, but then I reached out to her and thanked her that she always liked my post. And then she turned out to be a person with a lot of links, all around the globe. And one of the area where she is connected is Ethiopia in Africa, where a person runs an orphanage, And he needs, because Ethiopia is not so developed a country. They are, it's a war ravaged country, I think so. So they have a lot of problems in getting funds also. If you send funds also, they cannot receive. No, it is that kind of troublesome thing. So he somehow asked me whether I can help him raise funds. So I said, I can help you get resources which will raise fund. I cannot go and ask anybody to give money. Then people will start asking me why. I also don't bother why people will be asking those questions, but why not they themselves? No? They have to be sustainable.
Absolutely.
So then we realize that they don't only do support these orphan children, they also do women empowerment, and also they do this elderly people. No?
Okay.
So I also connected with that, because whenever I thought about orphanage, I thought about this old age home also. See, the elderly people, when they are in that place, they also need their grandchildren to play around them. And because these grandchildren will learn very different values from them, that is why the parents, those children actually exclude them from the activity. That is why they are in the old age home mostly. That is the story I have heard. This might not be true. So why not connect both of them? Even if they will get the love of the children and vice versa, right? Both ways. And that is the heritage, at least we represent in India. Our families had been like that. I don't know of this present condition. So then I connected with that. Somebody who is doing this with this vision should be helped. And then I connected with another friend. She does painting. So she offered to do this class for these children, wherein children would paint and that painting can be sold and can be, a fund can be raised. So that way, the sustainability aspect will come. Another friend from Nigeria, he got connected and he offered to do skill building, say photography, cooking, all these things. So it is not just me pushing, everybody is pushing. So whoever comes, they will come with their own expertise and can contribute a little. So now I'm looking for everybody to join. Whoever. InSync was my idea, wherein I would offer a space where ladies will not be bothered about rationalization, why they are doing whatever they are doing. They are doing just because it came from their heart. But it has that aspect also. Maybe with your association, you can bring some idea which will further expand this. So that is the background of all this. So now, please, the floor is yours. Please tell about you so that we can know each other. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So great, Sangeeta. Thanks for sharing the concept and the ideology behind, InSync, because I was really not aware, when I think we just connected and it was, I think one of the common groups where I used to see your post. So obviously, it catches attention. Some posts are like, you keep liking, and that's how I think then we got into each other's Facebook list as well. So that was, I think, the starting point. And like you correctly said, when you connect with someone, there not essentially there has to be a business purpose, because connections, unless and until you explore the possibilities, you would not know whether there is any potential to be explored. So I think I have always been an open networker and an avid networker, strongly coming from one recruitment and HR background. You have that human resource instinct in you. But I think intrinsically also as human beings, we all feel the need to be connected with each other, to be seen, to be appreciated. And that, I think, strongly, reflects in the kind of work where you said that, you came across the community group and for elite women. So the idea, I think, remains the same for all of us. Maybe the
Yeah.
context might vary a little bit here and there basis our, approach. But the very essence of connecting with people and exploring the endless possibilities. I think everywhere there is enough potential with people across borders, because we all are uniquely and blessed with some or the other talent. And it remains that through dialogues, through conversations, through such platforms, which we have got, why not reach out, to people and feel free to share those, exchange those ideas and, gifts.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. A little about me, where this elite woman started knowing to be elite woman. So
Yeah.
basically, I relate. I'll just take you back a little. I think into the flashback where I started my career, as a fresh engineering graduate who was clueless what to do, how to go ahead. And HR was something accidentally, speaking in terms of my profession and occupation. I started way back in 2005 into management consulting. And that's how I learned the nitty gritties of, the recruitment industry. What is human resource all about? So basically, I started off as a recruiter in management consulting firm, and I thought that yes, because that gave a lot of scope to connect with people, which essentially I love doing. So yes, keeping aside parallelly using my engineering degree for the technical hiring, that definitely came handy. But I think human resource gave me that scope to explore the potential of understanding the various facets of human, then understanding the human psychology under various situations. And that's how I think I dwelt a little deeper into psychotherapies and, whether upskilling myself as an NLP practitioner, emotional wellness coach, and all of that. And essentially, working closely, because I was always a part of the, corporate hiring teams. And I saw that, there was a huge gap in the industry demands and, what talent we were churning out from the colleges. So, doing a lot of campus interviews, I personally believed, coming from tier 2, tier 3 city, I could see that there was a lot of talent which needed to be nurtured and, guided in the right direction, especially when it came to the career skills. So that is where, with my engineering background and my HR expertise, I felt that there is a huge scope to work with the youth onto the soft skills training part. And that's how, I started working closely with colleges, universities. And after, I think, around 12, 13 years of working into the MNCs and various industries, I thought that now my consulting background and expertise should be put forth full-fledgedly on a full-time basis into trainings. And that's how, I got into independent consulting. And from there, of course, being a woman, I had to face a lot of, trials and tribulations, because when you're deciding to take a different course, of course it's not going to be an easy path. But I think I have always been somebody who has taken challenges, and that's what I learned from my own personal journey, that unless you ask for it, you're not going to get it. And
Yeah.
that's where I think a lot of women who stand up for themselves, they just don't stand up for themselves, but a whole lot of other women, they become their voice. And coming from an industry where at a very young age, I worked closely with the management stakeholders, in a typically manufacturing organization, where it is high on male domination,
Yeah.
essentially. So I had my own experiences where I felt that, okay, this is not something about, maybe back in those days, women empowerment was more seen as a feminism, when you speak for women's rights. So I thought it came out naturally, but only I think in recent years, where I was invited on various forums and I started explaining or maybe talking about my personal journey of empowerment, that took a whole lot of, a lot of women could relate. And that's where I think the concept of elite woman who is empowered in, all aspects, whether financially, emotionally, mentally, speaking about that resilience factor, that yes, there is always a scope for you to talk about your struggles and how you overcame that. So that becomes a kind of, inspiration. You might have, think that it is a very normal thing, something that you have done, but for somebody else, it could really give that courage to stand up. And that's
Yes,
where I
yes.
think the whole community thing also I formed along with the youth. I felt that yes, women need to be heard, because essentially as human beings, we all feel that need to be connected, to be seen, to be appreciated, to be visible. And thanks to, I think, pandemic, we all got that scope of
Yeah.
coming online and
Yes.
adapting also to the online culture. And of course visibility became more prominent. What we were doing in our personal and professional spaces, we started putting out there. So
Yeah.
that was, I think, where Elite Women really could connect with a lot of women fraternity. And of course, coming from that background, I think it was easier to connect with lot many other people who were serving in the social sector space also. So with this corporate and, educational background, I think I started connecting with a lot of NGOs and social sectors activists also. That's where I think many groups we have been part of commonly seeing, sharing our work, sharing our messages. So that was really a beautiful learning, in its own way. And I hope that the learning journey continues, where we keep sharing and empowering more such, women who could
Yeah.
then take it further to the next level.
Yes, yes. Sure, sure. Yes. So great, great, Shreya. So you actually, and to tell about a little about my background story, it was a failed marriage, and because of I won't say it was marriage, but my husband was a person who didn't want to work. You know, he had a huge talent. Be it singing, be it dancing, be it teaching. So he just tell it and he has it. So he had it. He is no more. So he didn't want to work, but because the workplace had several aspects which he couldn't handle. So he, given that he had so much talent, he thought that everybody should respect him. It doesn't happen that way, right? So you have to earn that. So when he was working independently, he had that respect. But in a workplace, might be there will be a boss and something. So he didn't like working. So, but in I'm from Orissa, so Orissa didn't have that much scope for his talents. So, and he didn't want to come to Delhi or something. So it was like that. So I have two daughters. When they were growing, uh, the of course they are one of them is married now. The other, when she did her 12th, and then she had to choose a professional career, right? So I asked him, what do we do if she gets into a professional career where a lot of money is required nowadays for education? What do we do? So he said she had to manage with whatever we had, and we had nothing. That means she has she is helpless. We are asking her to be helpless. So that didn't go with me. And then I chose to, and he had some habits of drinking also, wherein a lot of money was going. I didn't depend on him ever for running my household, but children as education is something wherein both parents had to contribute. He didn't do. So I had to arrange that money from somewhere, and I was very dependent on my parents. So my elder daughter didn't like that. She said, you people are educated. Can't you arrange that money all by yourself? I could have arranged, but no, the given the mindset of this person, somehow, I don't know. I now have forgiven him because he might have had a very traumatic childhood or something past. So that was there, but in the process for say 22 years or so, I was helpless too because of those kind of situations, because we don't, as you say, we don't think, or we don't have somebody to say, no, to tell it, to discuss it. I was not even knowing that I was going through a problem. I
Mm.
thought it was part of life and wasted many years. Maybe that was my growing up, but no. Now it is all done. So I see still when I speak to so many people, uh, even ladies, when I speak, if you have somebody going through the same struggle that I had gone through, then you can connect her to me and say, what kind of problem? Is this a problem? There is no problem. They have other problem. And many people don't even realize. And I was surprised. Even 2 days back, people who are working in this space of lifting others up, one person I was discussing, he said, what kind of problem was it? I said, these are the problems. The women have their own, even if they have a good household, if she is a parent and she is a working professional, she has to adjust a lot. She has to compromise a lot. And who she will open up to? Nobody is there. And if that is the case, and I'm pretty sure 90% of women are like that, in that phase, like me, they also think that this is part of their life and they didn't do anything about that. Their own career, they thought this is the priority because the child is the priority, and they didn't do anything about their career and they had to compromise, and they might have chosen some career which they didn't like. And now, after the children are grown up, they might have found themselves in somewhere they don't at all like their life to be. So what? Now, if women are like that, then we can figure out. Nowadays, for career is not a problem. If you want, like say, for your case also, you being an engineering profession, now you have found out a bigger scope because of your experience. So their experience also can be woven into a bigger scope.
Correct.
This is possible, but all by themselves, it will be difficult to figure it out because many people in their surrounding will tell them not possible.
Not possible.
So they need to connect in certain things. Even women don't know this is the problem. When I speak to my colleagues and they ask about my story, and when I explain, they say, for so long you didn't know, yaar, कि तेरा problem चल रहा है. Yeah, I didn't know because I was in that surrounding. This was part of the problem. And why to go through this problem? If I would have been educated, even I would have educated him, I would have brought him to a bigger circle where other people are there. If he was not listening to me, other people would have spoken to him in a very loving way and very respectfully, the way he wanted. So it would have not been a life wasted. So that from that background I come from. And so since last 2.5 years, I'm trying to, and the more peculiar thing is, since till last month, I thought I was not catering to women. That was another peculiar thing about this whole struggle. We think that women are not part of what we are doing. It is men. No, because I was on a journey to have a man corrected in his thought process. So I thought I'll correct men. No, it is not the, because I in the process I was the woman who needed to be corrected, and I didn't know till last month. That is very surprising. Very obviously, all that I did was to empower the women, not to have them in that same situation, even if it is a rural woman. She also finds herself in lot of trouble, lot of problems. But they all, I worked everywhere. And still I was not looking for women to target. So now I have, last month only, I changed myself to be women excellence coach. Before that, I was thinking it was leadership. I always thought leadership growth is the secondary thing for a woman. She has to first overcome her personal, she has to process her own personal struggles and had to accept herself that whatever she is doing, the best she is doing. So unless she does that, the other things are of no use. So that is what happened last month only. So now it is, this is, we all learn in the process. So previously I was not at all targeting women. And when I started targeting, then I saw how much I can do in this space also, whatever space, to just talk. Like InSync came after that. I could see women only, taking away that African Crusade that I spoke to you just beforehand. All of them are women. And the US person who introduced me there is a lady. The person who is who has co-founded that orphanage is a lady, and she is more active. And then another lady from US who is teaching this art, which is the immediate income generating activity for them, is a lady. So women can contribute in so many ways, even if they are far away. No, so
absolutely,
yeah. Yes, so that's it, Shreya. And you can think over this as to how, what way. But I'll request you to join that group. I'll send you that group's link. It is called African Crusade. And no expectation, just be there. And today, Saturday at 7, actually we call a group meeting. You may or may not join that group today, that meeting today, but that is the time we have fixed, because these people
every
are free and
Saturdays.
only Saturdays, so that every Saturday we evaluate what we have done. So last Saturday I told them to fix their payment link issue. No, people cannot send them money. Suppose I want to send 1,000 rupees.
Correct.
I cannot. It will be lost somewhere, or what will happen to that money, nobody knows. So that one was the task this week. And also because there is a network issue at the place, so we cannot have direct Zoom call to teach those children. So we need to have some small videos to be displayed to the children whenever there is connectivity. So that is another issue. So these two issues were to be sorted this week. Let us see what they have done. And every day, if you see, I'm posting one something on African Crusade. It is not entirely African Crusade. It is something of my own experience, my own frustration also. So what you can do is, you can just share and put your story in the same name, African Crusade. So that will also create some thread, and also everybody, and tag everybody. Once you are there, you can tag everybody so that everybody, whoever wants to, can further share. So that is the thread I am creating. So yeah.
Sure, Sangeeta. I would love to join the group and see, what all activities are being carried out, so that, initially I'll also have a little more understanding as I get involved. And it sounds lovely, because yes, I was also part of, in fact, I had this sort of, it was a through networking, I met this African woman who was working in Dubai, with no formal education, with no formal degree. But it's amazing to know about her journey. As I started interacting, we just met online, and eventually she became a client of mine. That was much later, but initially I think 3 months we were really intrigued by the stories that we had to share. And coming from a very small, just like the way you mentioned that there are so many challenges for women out there, but still I think that leadership thing will get recognized, or a woman can know her own potential only when she goes through that journey of overcoming her struggles. And this lady, coming with a huge family, the being the youngest one, she took the responsibility of getting all her sisters educated, because she had to drop out of school, till getting them married, taking care of her parents, buying a house, coming to Dubai, and getting herself qualified as a coach. Initially, she enrolled as a babysitter. From there, primary, she became an educator. So her journey was really empowering one in the sense, when she had no resources, she was being in that resourceful state to provide resources to the entire family. And not only that, she did, good for herself. So I think I was invited for one of her, she had started a show, and that's how we connected. And I eventually got to know about her story. And in the process, she was also inspired by the things we shared and exchanged. And yeah, that's how I was saying that, we never know, when we connect, we share our stories, and that might one thing might lead to another. So I'll definitely, would love to join this group. Maybe today I won't be able to join in the meeting, but definitely I'll keep a track of the activities, and let us explore how we can contribute. I can contribute towards it as well.
Yes. So I'll send you that link first, so you can join there. Not many people are there, only 6 people are there maybe, and not much noticed about that. Whatever I'm posting, maybe not other people are sharing it. So that also I will clarify today, today's meeting. And yeah, so thank you, Shreya. So I'll count you in to my NSYNC 100 group. And,
just before we conclude, where are you based, Sangeeta?
I'm at Delhi only.
Achha. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is a huge journey again, about going several places. I worked in 16 states, all remote places. Gaon mein, jungle mein kaam kiya.
Wonderful.
So with ladies only. And now I'm at Delhi, and I want to expand whatever I have done so far. Wo to only I did. People have to do. Everybody can do. So that message I want to, whatever you do, it is meaningful for everybody's life. So yeah, so that is what. So randomly, whatever comes to my mind, I keep on doing, and I appreciate whoever is doing whatever. And thank you for getting connected, Shreya, and I'm so grateful.
My pleasure. It was great knowing you, and definitely, thank you so much for connecting and taking the initiative to, connect and approach. And definitely, I'll look forward to our interactions.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Have
Bye.
a great day ahead.